Here we are again. And today we are talking about the far out reports. So let's cruise on over. This is a research paper. It will take a lot of time to do it right. So don't forget to do it. And if you notice on your course schedule, there's the weeks leading up to this where it says, don't forget to work on the far out report. Let me share my screen with you because I forgot to do that. Click, click, click. Here you are, far out reports. So 15% of your total grade, okay? 3 steps to do. All of which you must follow to get full credit. If you miss one, it's like 20 points or something. And most importantly, grace periods do not apply to the report. If you don't get the report submitted on its due date, I will not accept it. I have far too many papers to grade. And when I'm done, I don't want to do more. So my policy is get it done on time. Okay. You've got 3 weeks to do this. Well, really you have all semester. Get started now. You can do it at any time you like between the start of the semester and the due date. But on the calendar, when it says begin far out report, you should begin the far out report. And then you have 3 weeks to turn it in. It's more than enough time. You can turn it in early. You just cannot turn it in late. So please get it done on time. It's a lot of points. Now, it's not a bad assignment. Okay, we have to write in this class because we are a general education course, and so you have to write a paper. Now, you got to use reputable resources. Okay, guys, the internet is full of all kinds of garbage. Okay, use your book for one. If your topic can be found in your book, sometimes it can't, sometimes it can. Okay, if you want to do black holes, you're not going to find too much information in your book about that. But if you want to do like weather events, you can do that. Okay, it has to. You have to have reputable information. So if you want to use journals, make sure they are peer-reviewed journals, okay? Sometimes journals have sciencey sounding names and they're not scientific at all, okay? So things that come from Elsevier, you can use that. You can go on, what is it? Purdue's OWL. Okay, we actually have a link to that somewhere on our website. Should have had that up so I could show you. I think it's in library resources. So you can still see my screen, right? Fine, look at this. Ha ha ha. Finding scholarly articles. Wasn't hard. Okay. So follow this guide. Okay. Libraries from the drop-down menu. You got nbc.edu, go to the libraries. And then like follow these steps. If you're having a hard time, if you're like, I don't know if this is a scholarly article. Okay. If you're having a hard time, follow this. Okay. And it will help you. We have access to a number of different databases to get quality material. Okay. NASA is fine. The journal Science is fine. National Geographic is fine. Do not type in a question. Listen, don't do this. let me go something fine. New tab. I got a lot going on my screen right now. Okay. What is a black hole? Now, if you want to go to NASA, that's great. Okay. Listen, Wikipedia is okay. I know you might be like, oh my God, the teacher said Wikipedia is okay. Listen, Wikipedia is okay. I'm going to show you why. Or go to Wikipedia. Every single one of these things is referenced. Okay. And if you go down to the bottom here, like we'll just jump to the end. References. Okay. Every single one of these things is referenced. And Wikipedia actually does their due diligence because they're trying to be considered a reputable resource. It is a crowdsourced resource, so it's open to anybody can kind of not necessarily change, but submit suggestions to change things on Wikipedia. For the most part, stuff that you find on Wikipedia is, I don't want to say, I don't think reputable is the right word. It depends on the category of information, but most of the science stuff is on point. But what I prefer you to do, instead of citing the wiki page, okay, cite the source that it comes from. So one of the things that's fantastic about Wikipedia is they link to the source. So if you're like, okay, I want to use this definition. A black hole is the region of space-time, da, 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 da. I want to use that definition, put it in my paper. I need to use the reference. Well, I'm not going to reference this web page. No, I am going to click on this little link. Number 1, Wald, 1984. I want to open up that guy in a new tab in this case. Which there is the full resource, okay? The University of Chicago Press, that is a peer-reviewed resource. Here is the ISBN number. Okay, if you want to, you can go to that. It's kind of like a rabbit hole, okay, of sources, but it will bring you to you can get to the original text, okay? But this here is the reference, okay, that you want. This is closer to the reference that you want, not the wiki page, okay? So we're clear. You can use Wikipedia if you use it correctly. Now let's go back to my question, because there should be some wonky responses. My Google's different than your Google, I'm sure, because Google is tailored to us, and I look up things that I make sure I'm not on some BS web page. Okay, so I'm getting all of the NASA, I'm getting the National Geographic. I'm not getting the garbage because, well, that's not how I Google. But if you're somebody who, gets the garbage, so stuff like, who knows, what's this? Oh, well, that's California Tech, so that's probably fine. Earthsky.org, what's that? Okay, so I'm not going to use this page, okay, because it doesn't come from a university. It doesn't come from a source that I know I can trust, okay? Even though it's written and it kind of looks like it's trustworthy, it might kind of summarize the information pretty well, but I don't know this web page, okay? I probably am not going to use this source, okay? Also because I don't see a reference page somewhere that actually gives me the original article that the material is coming from. Okay, if I click these things, it's just bringing me to another Earth Sky page on Albert Einstein. Okay, so, you know, if you it's hard to tell sometimes. Okay, it's hard to know. All right, this doesn't appear to be bad information, but it's just not necessarily safe information. So just, you know, use our library, use things that you know we can trust, okay, and use Wikipedia appropriately, but really use our libraries, because the library is great. So if we go back to this, right, go to libraries in the drop-down menu, and you can search the database, okay, for your topic, and you'll get all sorts of good stuff, okay? And honestly, using the library databases is more efficient than Google, because Google, you got to filter through, you know, 85 different articles questioning the validity of them, okay? That's not how you want to write a paper. You don't want to question validity, but that unfortunately is the world that we live in. You can't trust the news, you can't trust the internet. You know, we used to have this when I was younger, which was a long time ago. It's not that long, but it's a little long ago. You know, you'd be talking about something and you'd say like, oh, did you know that blah, 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 blah is blah, blah, blah. And somebody would be like, how do you know that? Where'd you learn that? And if you said TV, they'd be like, garbage. You can't believe anything on TV. But if you said, well, I read it somewhere. Oh, well, reading. Oh, you read it in a book or a magazine or the newspaper, because 20 years ago, 25 years ago, we could trust the news. We could trust the magazines. We could trust the books. But there is so much garbage information out there these days. You can trust very little, okay? You can trust NVCC's library database, so use that. Use your textbook if you can. Use peer-reviewed, reputable, verifiable resources. And this is a lesson in life, because man, the memes I see on social internet, and I just want to go, oh, where do you get your information? How can you believe these crazy conspiracy theories? Nothing is backed in science. And it drives me crazy. So anyway, back to your report. So you write your paper, you upload it here on this. Can you see my cursor? Upload it there. Okay. Then you're going to peer review. So you're going to read one of your fellow students' paper. And then you are going to provide feedback, not to the student, okay, to me. I want to know that you read it and what you thought about it, because that tells me that you read it. Okay. But you're not like, I've had students find the student whose paper they read and say, don't do that. They don't care what you thought about their paper. They care what I think about their paper and their grade. Don't send your critique to your fellow classmate. Send it to me. It's to make sure that I know that you read it, you did the work, okay? So know when you're writing this also that somebody anonymously, hopefully, is going to be reading your paper. Okay, so when you do the reaction worksheet, which is you submit that here. No, here's the reaction worksheet. Here's where you submit it. That is so I can review it, okay, and see your feedback of your peers' paper. Okay, that is 10% of your grade. So when you see your grades, the best that you can get on your paper is a 90. And then you get 10 points on the peer review. So you have to do both. And those powers combined is 15% of your lab grade. So if you don't do this at all, which happens, the best that you can get is an 85 in lab. And lab is 33%, I think. I don't know, refer to your syllabus of your lecture. So the better you do in lab, the better you do overall. Okay, that's it. Go write your papers, get started. Email me with questions, okay? Yeah, that's all I got for you. All right, have a great day. We'll see you in the next round.